Welcome to watch WorkNC dental training video. Now we will introduce how to create an implant bridge case. First we open the software, and then here, the home page. To mill an implant bridge or implant bar, we need to choose the process of disc. Then we need to define a material. Usually we use titanium, but sometimes we use plastic as well. We choose the machine you use. Then the home page changes. Some machine has many different clamping system for the users. Here we can choose what you are using. After that, we need to choose a stock to mill. You can select a stock template for a new stock, or a partial stock which has been used before. If it is not easy to choose the one you want, you can click Show All to open a bigger windows to pick it up. After we have decided the stock, we can click the Prepare button to go on. Here we arrive to a new UI. We just follow the step above and finishing our job step by step. The first step is import. We can import the designed STL file. Or user can simply drag the STL directly to the software. After STL is imported, we can click the next button to go on, or use Tab in your keyboard. This step is the sequences. We need to choose a template for the STL. This is very important. If you choose the wrong sequence, which does not for the STL, you will get a wrong milling result. So you must get the training from your supplier about this point. For implant bridge, usually we define the name as machine name plus T implant bridge. Then next, this step is the cavity. In this step, we need to draw the margin line manually for each teeth position. Until now, we can't get an automatic way to do this, so we need to be patient. If user make any mistake during the drawing, you can press backspace button in your keyboard to redo it. Do it teeth by teeth. If here is an implant hole in the teeth, make sure the line is outside the hole area. To save time, we just draw 3 tooth. But for true case, make sure all of the teeth with a line. If you feel boring to do like this, you can use machine name plus T implant standard, sequences, and add remachining for undercut. It works also, but it will lose hours of milling time and lose some details on the shoulder of the teeth. After draw all of the margin line, we check in the end to make sure all of the lines don't cross connection. Then next, this step is implant step. In this step, we need to define the implant connection system and replace the implant geometry with WorkNC dental library. We click this magic wand to detect the implant hole. The automatic detect will show unknown, which means the software don't know which implant system it is. Then we select the library and click the Implant Reference button to use the WorkNC Dental Library. Then a window will show up. Pick up the correct one. Normally here is too much. You can search and filter. If here is no brand you want, you should contact your supplier. I will also leave my contact information in the end of the video. I will help you to build new library. You can switch to any other system if you want. If the implant system is correctly defined, it will show defined auto link here. After that, we need to carefully check the implant hole. We must make sure all of the hole is at the highest point of the STL. Normally, it already is, but we must check it. It is very important, otherwise, the machine will crash. Pay attention. Here is another dotted line. Press and hold it center, and move it to the lowest position of STL. Check all of the lines, solid line to the highest, dashed line to the lowest. Next, if everything is ready, this step is the orientation. Double-click the STL, or press this button to activate the function. 3 colorful rings will come out. Hold these rings to rotate the STL to make the bridge stable. Take care, during rotate the STL, the arrow of the implant may become red, which means this direction is beyond the machine limit. We can't rotate here. After rotation, here will appear the height of the STL. We can check if the stock thickness works or not. If the stock we choose in the beginning is not high enough for this case, we can click here to change another stock. Next, this step is the nesting, to translate the position of the STL. Press this button or double-click the STL to activate the function. Rotate the green arrow for rotation. Hold the red point to move. For implant bridge, if some implant angle is too big, sometimes we need to manually expand the limit. Next, this step is to add the pin. We can manually add it, or use magic wand to add all. Press delete in the keyboard if some pin is not necessary. And you can also modify the geometry of the pins. Left mouse button to the pin. We can up, down, or rotation senten pin. When you move the pin, a small windows will show here. Normally, the automatic pin is on the height contour. If you want to save some manually polish work after milling, it is better to put the pin under the margin line. Just an advice, to get a strongest support force, it is better to add 2 pins on the tips, and add 1 or 2 pins to cross the implant center. Don't forget to choose the pin cutting strategy. Normally, here is many choice. Chose the one for implant bridge. Next. This step is the remachining. Use the margin line drawn in cavity step to mill the teeth part. In this function, we can only use the roller to rotate the STL to make the teeth face up to the user. If all of the undercut of the teeth can be seen, make sure the milling sequences is TI implant bridge 3-2. Then choose the existing curves. Pick up the curve we have drawn before. Then here will come out a pink cover around the teeth. These two teeth will be milled in this direction. Of course, we can't mill all of the teeth in the bridge with one direction, so we need to do it some more times. Normally, we need 4 to 5 direction for all of the teeth in the bridge. After all of the teeth are covered by pink, we go on the next and press the calcul button to start. And here is the progress bar. Wait until it is finished. Then you can get the NC file for the milling. This is all about implant bridge. Thank you very much for your watching. If you have any problem, please contact with your supplier or me. Here is my email address and WeChat card. Wish you have a nice day.